Hello and welcome. It is, gosh, in the middle of the coronavirus, March 19th, 2020. And, I'm not going to call it a pandemic and I'm not going to call it a crisis. I'm going to call it an opportunity for you to meet your own mind and for you to really examine, who you are and how you're doing and really turning that attention inward to find the sanctuary inside. It's really an opportunity for that. And I even some of my faculty members I've been talking to, we run a meditation teacher academy. We train teachers also to go into organizations. Of course, nobody's going anywhere right now except for through Zoom. And even they are meeting their own minds in terms of their self-limiting beliefs and, without the distractions of shopping and eating out and socializing and all of the things that we normally do to bring our attention outward, this is the time now that we're starting to ask ourselves, how am I doing? Am I healthy? Is there something I could be doing to soothe my own soul? I want to honor you for being here and spending your time not watching the news right now and being here trying to sort of mitigate the effects of the fight or flight response, that stress reaction that can happen when you hear words like crisis and pandemic and contagion and no cure. So I know that, the mind loves to travel. It loves to travel into the future, into the past. It loves to travel into other people's business. It loves to travel into drama. It loves to travel into fear. But the truth is, if you can wrangle your mind into this moment, pretty much everything is okay. And when you do that, you're able to counterbalance the effect of the fight or flight response, which can become a constant companion, one that you might not have even known you've invited. I've said this on other calls, but I'm going to share it now for those of you who are new to this series. Einstein once asked the question, everybody has to answer, which is this universe a friendly place? Is this universe a friendly place? Well, maybe you're coming to terms with the fact that maybe you don't feel that way. And some of us have really gotten used to or become habituated to thinking that life is happening to us rather than for us. And we see everything as kind of a threat to our own existence. And this can happen with the accumulation of stressors and stress in our nervous system. Some of you know this story I tell. I used to live in Sedona, Arizona. Right now I get to look outside at the beautiful islands off of Santa Barbara coast, and I see the ocean and the clouds, and I am in heaven. But years ago, I used to meditate on my sofa and facing the red rocks in Sedona. And I did it early in the morning before the sun made it over the red rocks. And after a meditation period of, say, 20 or 30 minutes, I would open my eyes slowly, as I will recommend that you do. And everything seems a little brighter. It's almost as if someone took my dirty glasses I had been wearing and wiped them clean for me so I could see the world a little clearer. I mean, that's really what meditation's about, is to see the world a little more clearly and to see yourself a little more clearly. What I started to notice is that there would be these dust motes floating around in the sky that would light up with the sunbeams. And I had a big glass table in front of me. And inevitably, a lot of them would land there. Now, here's the thing about dust. You don't often notice it accumulating. It just sort of sneaks up on you. And that same thing is true for stress. We don't always notice it's accumulating. It kind of sneaks up on us. Now, we're in the middle of something that's more acute, thinking about our mortality, thinking about being unwell, maybe thinking about not having enough. And those can be stressors for sure. But at some point, we have to get used to this and we have to mitigate the effects of the stress. We have to dust the table so that eventually, we can see the table more clearly. It has its true nature back of reflectivity and transparency. So what happens with stress is that it accumulates slowly and we don't often realize it until we suddenly have to suddenly don't feel well or can't digest our food or can't sleep well, or we're feeling angry or anxious or fearful. So what I like to do is do practices that dust the table, that help to mitigate that stress from building up, because that's the answer to the question, is this universe a friendly place? And when there's too much stress, it's not. It's something we have to deal with, whether we're dealing with the news or dealing with our family or dealing with the contagion or dealing with whatever is the thing you have to deal with, our financial issues or our work issues or our family issues. So with meditation, we dust the table, we get rid of the accumulated stress little by little so it doesn't build up, and then we are able to respond appropriately to the world that we live in, to our surroundings. So I'm going to invite you to do that today. I also know that many of us are a little afraid. Many of us have a thought, this will never end. What's really happening? Why am I trapped inside my house? Why are they closing everything down? I don't know anyone who's got this virus. Maybe you're feeling a little scared about what's going to happen next, and that's totally understandable. But what we want to do is not live there in that fear, not live in the anxiety, but to bring the attention back here into the present moment. And I'm going to invite you to do that now through the practice of mindfulness. Some of you know that mindfulness means being aware of what you're doing while you're doing it, engaging in the present moment with a welcoming, loving appreciation for what is. And as the mind travels into the future and scares you, or into the past and wishes for the normalcy that you maybe used to have, we can work with the mind. And so mindfulness is about being here, and there are practices you can do to create that as a habit of mind. One of the practices is tuning into what's already here, and we can do that right now with the eyes open. And I'm just going to do a little exercise with you, and feel free to join along. So look around the room and find a few items, maybe even people or pets that you appreciate. Maybe 5 things that you are keeping you company. Maybe it's a plant, maybe it's a tchotchke, maybe it's a card you have or a painting on the wall. Maybe it's the furniture you're sitting on or the rug on your floor. So just look around and look at them with the attitude of gratitude, maybe even silently thanking them for being here and keeping you company. We spend a lot of time creating this sanctuary in our homes. So let's take a moment and appreciate it. Maybe it's the window. Maybe it's a lamp. And now, let's take a few minutes or moments and start to appreciate something about your body. Maybe it's your ability to see or hear, or the way your hands may move and hold your cup of tea. Maybe it's your ability to think or digest your food. So let's take a moment. You can close your eyes if you like, and identify five areas of your physical body that you appreciate. Maybe you can just go right to the 5 senses. Your ability to hear and see, feel and taste and smell. And if your eyes are closed, you can, or not, you can close them and tune into the sounds in the environment. Listening for the layers of sounds. And see if you can do it without preferences. Simply welcoming what you hear, near and far. Maybe you can hear your own breath. Maybe you can hear people in the other room, or the birds outside your window, or traffic. welcoming everything. And I invite you to keep your eyes closed, if it's safe to do that, and tune into 5 sensations, physical sensations in your body. Maybe you feel where your hands are, or the air on your skin. Or maybe you can feel some warmth or coolness. Maybe you feel the way your weight is being supported in the chair or the sofa. Or the clothing on your skin. Or maybe you feel the sensation of the tongue in your mouth, or the way that the body responds to the breath as you breathe in and out. Tuning into what is here and welcoming everything. Welcoming everything. Notice how you're feeling now that you've brought your attention into this moment. Maybe there's a softness here. Maybe there's a little softening of your belly or your face. You can let go of just a little tension that you might be carrying. See if you can rest fully in this moment, not bracing yourself for anything in particular, but softening into it. Let's tune into the breath now. Breathing in slowly and deeply, and breathing out slowly and fully. Sending a signal to your body that all is well as you allow yourself to deepen your breath. Some people like to use hand motions when they're breathing, maybe opening their hands as they inhale, and then bring their hands to prayer position as they exhale. And letting your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. Letting the breath naturally move. And letting it charm your attention. Maybe you notice a certain temperature or a certain sensation on the inhale. Letting your attention rest now on the pauses at the very end of the exhale. As you breathe naturally, simply notice where the exhale ends and turns around to become the inhale again. Now the mind might wander into the past, into the future, into somebody else's business, but bring it back here and let it be charmed by your natural breath. Whatever you're feeling is perfectly fine. There's no need to pretend to do anything other than feel the breath. Become mindful of the breath. You might even say to yourself, I am aware I am breathing in on the inhale. I am aware I am breathing out on the exhale. I like the in on the inhale and out on the exhale. This keeps my attention right here, creating that new normal of being present and calm and in a restful awareness. And whenever the mind drifts away, bring it right back here to where your life is taking place. In this moment. In this moment. And be kind to yourself. As we continue this practice, we'll do this for a few more minutes, and I'll keep track of the time. Feeling the breath, feeling the pauses between each breath. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing else you have to do. Simply be here now. If you notice you're waiting for something to happen, treat this as you would any other thought and come on back to this moment. Right back to the breath. The breath might speed up or slow down or become more shallow or deeper, however it shows up. See if you can welcome it. And if you like, I invite you to drop your attention to the center of your chest and notice the gentle rise and fall of the breastbone. And just behind the breastbone, if you like, you can see, feel, or imagine that this is the center point of you, the seat of your awareness, the seat of your soul, whatever you want to call it. And imagine the breath moving in and out from that center point. And you can offer yourself some loving kindness. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. And now you can offer that same sentiment to whoever is in your awareness, in your environment, or people you know who you believe need it, or people you simply love. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. And extending your sentiments to those of us on this call and those of us who are listening to this as a recording. Getting a sense of people just like you who are seeking relief from suffering, seeking freedom and peace, and a closer connection to who they really are. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. And for a moment, bring into your awareness that people are praying for you right now, praying for your health and well-being, and not just on this call, but the thousands or hundreds of thousands of monks and nuns who are making it their business to pray for peace on this planet, and you are included. So taking a moment and realizing that you are loved and cared for. Feeling that, receiving it. And then letting your awareness now expand to include others that you may or may not know around the world, people, animals, plants, ecosystems, oceans. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. And now I invite you to deepen your breath. Come back to you. Come back to your heart center. Imagining the breath moving in and out from the center point of view. Tuning into the actual movement of the breath once again, wherever you feel it most. And I'm going to sound a bell for us to come out of meditation, but simply keep your eyes closed for a moment. This transition between meditation and the waking state, I always consider a sacred time, an important time. I always call it the time of integration. It's when the meditation, the doing of it, is over, and yet the fruits of it are present. A more relaxed body, a calmer mind. Maybe you feel a little more grateful or more connected, or maybe you feel nothing at all. Whatever the case may be, if we objectively measured your brain waves and your respiration rate, we might find objectively that you're at a deeper rested state than when we started. So honoring that, moving from the meditation into activity if you like, there's no rush to do that, but you can deepen your breath. Tune back into the sounds around you and your body. Start to notice the light that's coming through your eyelids before you open your eyes. And when you do feel like opening your eyes, do it slowly. First with a downward gaze. And then when you're ready to open them all the way, you can do that. There's no rush. Maybe gazing towards those items that you appreciated when we started off. Thanking them for keeping you company, whether they're inside your room or out in the world out there. And I'm going to ask you to consider this. What if the whole universe is conspiring to wake you up to yourself, to your loving awareness, to the wonder and beauty that you are? What if the whole universe is saying, you know what? We're not shopping today. We're not leaving the house. We have to meet our own minds and meet our own heart and really examine how we live. Maybe we move from that sort of self-centered concern and then move toward a more generous way of being, recognizing that we're all part of the same family. And, you know, right now, there are 22 of us on this call, and who knows who's listening to this recording. There are so many people that have the same desire that you do for peace, safety, nourishment, for love, for aha moments, for miracles. And so you're just like them. I'm just like you. And we're all just like each other in that way. We might have different ways of going at it, but we're all one family. And moving from what's in it for me and how can I take care of myself to how can I help? How can I help? What can I do? Can I call someone? Can I smile at someone? Can I send them a letter? I know my mother, she doesn't do the internet, so I call her, but she loves mail. So sending her a little letter, just telling her how I appreciate her, I know will brighten her day, and she can share it with all of her friends. So what can you do today? A random act of kindness, maybe even an anonymous act of kindness, where you reach out and maybe bring a smile to someone else's face. Anyway, I really appreciate you being with me today. I've had so much fun. And today we also have one at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm enjoying being with you. And I invite you to send me an email about what you want to hear as we continue this series through the month of March. I'm going to stop our recording now.